All right, sports ball fans, another super amazing edition of Sports and Tacos coming at you. Tons and tons of playoff football news. NBA, college basketball, and stuff. But there is, uh, we are deep in NFL playoffs. So, let's go ahead and we will run the intro and we will dive in. All right, so here we are again. Another. Actually, we're dwindling down on football Sundays. What do we got left? Two more.
Two more.
Two more NFL football Sundays. No, I'm not gonna lie. As a Broncos fan, I wouldn't. I don't care. Take this NFL season, take it out to pasture, put it out of its misery. As far as I'm concerned.
You're just ready for next year.
So I'm your host, Spencer Cadigan. We got all the OGs on this morning: Alex G. Unit Ginzel, Tony Big Daddy Pantoja, Robert Humphreys, the mouth from the south. Hoping to have some special guests on here at some point. But I guess let's just let's dive into yesterday's games. I personally thought they were going to be crazy entertaining. I thought both the underdogs had a shot of winning both of those games, and they were not very entertaining games whatsoever. So I'll let you start, Alex. Why is Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs so awesome?
Oh man, we talk about this every episode, Spencer.
We do. It's because they are so freaking good.
They are. They're so good. I mean, just again, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce yesterday, all those plays. Tony Pacheco, he's so fast. It was a little scare, when he got hurt at the beginning of the game, but he was just hopping and still making those crazy plays. So it was a good game.
Doug.
Yes. Good morning.
Doug, how are you? Welcome back to Sports and Tacos.
Hi.
So as everybody knows, Doug Plank, part of Sports and Shopping with Megan Johnson Zaccaro. We're kind of got a little podcast like merger. We got Sports and Tacos, kind of merging with Sports and Shopping. At least for this NFL football Sunday. Thanks for coming on, Doug.
No, it's great. I really, it's funny how, even though the Bears are at the very bottom of the barrel, in fact, they get the first draft pick. They're down so low. It's funny. I can't tell you how many networks, especially in Chicago, want to hear my take on who's going to win the playoffs. Although I got to tell you, I'm batting 100 so far. I was right about yesterday's games, which those were easy. Those were easy pickings.
Doug, I wish I would have. I wish I would have taken your advice, Doug.
Yeah, I just thought the Eagles, they weren't doing very well recently, but it was because of injuries and things like that to their quarterback. They came out confident. Here's the other thing I remember about Philadelphia. Oh my God. When you went to Philadelphia, people were throwing things at you, coffee, stones, rocks. I mean, it didn't matter. That is a tough place to play. That's at least 14 points because those people are just screaming and yelling at you. I don't care who you are, how good you are. You're professional. When somebody is behind you screaming F-bombs for 4 hours, it has an effect on you. And I knew he was going to wear the other guys down.
We have a buddy of mine that comes on pretty often, Doug. My buddy Ian. He's from Philadelphia, lifelong Eagles fan, and I always make fun of him because the Eagles fans, they are the only fans that I have ever heard in the world boo, freaking Santa Claus. They literally
Yeah, but they beat him up too there, Shotgun.
they booed Santa Claus one time on national television. Like, who
You know
does
what, too?
that?
It's hard for me growing up in Pittsburgh. Hey, Steelers, Steelers, Steelers. It's so hard for me to actually cheer for the Eagles because then for my whole life they were the enemy. That's who we were out there to try to destroy. And but I like what they've got going. I mean, I think they got great communication between the coaching staff. Their offense and defense plays well, and I think they have an excellent quarterback.
Yep. I want to welcome Megan Johnson Zakara.
Hi guys. Good to be here. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Talking about the kind of I don't know what you would call this, the co-mingling of sports and tacos and sports and shopping.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And I think that you owe me a taco because remember the last time that Doug and I were on here, the Dallas Cowboys won.
Yes, Spencer. That's right.
You know, it's the funny thing, Shotgun. You've been owing a lot of tacos lately.
I know.
I owe Alex tacos too. I think I might owe Alex like double tacos after the Chiefs game yesterday.
Hey, you want the fajita tacos? You want the steak upcharged?
Because that's why I was saying that, Doug, because yesterday I decided to have some crazy Spencer hot takes, and I literally predicted that the Jaguars were going to upset the Chiefs, and then I followed that up with that the Giants were going to upset the Eagles, and neither game was really that close. I mean, okay, Jacksonville kind of had a chance, you know, down by 10 with 4 minutes, but that interception that he threw was the worst interception ever. That was like if back when I used to play 500 with my friends in junior high.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, that's what these playoffs. All you need is a couple turnovers, and the worst team can win. And I'm not saying that's what happened the other day, but the bottom line is that's another place, Kansas City. Oh my God, that's all those people have to do is to watch football. Go to Kansas City. I mean, it's flat. There's nothing there. Corn and grass are growing. That's it. The football field is way out in the middle of a stadium, like cornfields surrounding it. It's amazing. You go, where are all these people going to come from? Well, the next day, oh my God, they show up. They're everywhere, and they are loud. I'm telling you, that's the only field I've ever been on in my life where I absolutely felt the ground shake because that place was so insane.
Yeah,
well, you got to remember Kansas City also for Christmas, along with the Kansas City football. The Christmas decorations in Kansas City are incredible.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Well, Alex, I mean, you, I assume, what's it called? The district there? There's like some really cool. Is it some shopping and lights or something? Or?
Yeah, there's the plaza, and then there's the the shopping and lights.
Is that what it's called?
Yes. Power and Light District.
Power and Light District. Yeah,
where all the shopping and bars are at. Yeah.
That's like the cool spot in Kansas City, like tons of good barbecue. Have you ever been to Kansas City, Megan?
Yep. When my husband was in the Army, we went to some officer training and we lived there for 10 weeks. That's why I know Kansas City, and Doug is right. But it's a wonderful place. And of course, growing up in Minnesota, I'm used to cornfields and flat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm from Denver. She's from Kansas. Tony and Bama's from obviously Alabama, but Tony's born and raised in Denver also. We're not used to necessarily cornfields, but there's not much to do in Denver in the winter besides go skiing or snowboarding or go to the bar
or drinking
and watch the Broncos. You go to the bar and watch the Broncos.
Yeah.
That's why.
But you got to understand, Shotgun, this last year, it hurts.
No, it was horrible.
It just hurts.
It was just
my Avalanche, my Broncos. The only one that's doing good right now is my Denver Nuggets. And I'm not jinxing it, man. Not jinxing it because, man, it hurts.
Hey, Megan, back when it'd been the what is it? Power and Lights District. Just for anybody that's watching out there, because I know it's sports and shopping. So
Well, number one, I want to say thank you guys, and
thank you
for having Doug and I on with our sports and shopping, and it's just kind of funny.
So if you were in the Power and Lights District, where would you go shopping? Anywhere, any place you could remember that like was your favorite spot?
Okay, so this is the funny thing about me with shopping. And again, I'm just going to be always honest because I always am. I'm not like a huge shopper, but I find products that I like. I find products that I like and I roll with them. But I'm a very conservative shopper. So all those beautiful stores in Kansas City, I would not say I necessarily bought things at because I'm very conservative.
Oh,
but
that's good.
Yeah, but the thing is that the shops and the lights and everything that they do for Christmas are absolutely incredible. So no, I never bought anything there. I ate dinner.
Alex, was there like any favorite spots of yours in that district that you can remember?
The restaurants, shopping. We didn't go there to shop. We went there to walk around, drink, eat. They have like a beautiful Barnes and Noble, Forever 21, stuff like that. But
right. So I guess being from Denver, would it be equivalent to like Cherry Creek kind of?
Yes, it's just like Cherry Creek. But it looks different.
Got it. Okay, cool.
It's more colorful.
With less stop signs. Anyways, Cherry Creek has literally got to be the stop sign capital of planet Earth. Like, if they, put in a stop lights at some point. There's so many four-way stops, it takes forever. But anyways, that's beside the point. So it is playoff football time. So Doug, you knew that the Eagles were going to destroy the Giants, and you knew that the Chiefs were going to destroy the Jaguars. Okay, I just want to what are your guys' thoughts of the Jaguars? In my opinion, over the next, I really think Trevor Lawrence slowly but surely is coming into his own. Are they going to be the next force to be reckoned with in the AFC over the next 5-10 years? He reminds me, his arm, also Justin Herbert, but even maybe more Trevor Lawrence. He reminds me of freaking John Elway.
That kid has a lot of potential, this is what his senior year of his rookie year. He's great. Of course, he jumped into a fire. He jumped in fire. He was getting burned for a couple years, but you know what? He knows how to control that heat now. He's giving it. And like I told you all beginning of the season, you guys laughed at me when I said Jacksonville's going to the playoffs. I just want to hear it.
Doug, what is your thought on just the future? I mean, of Trevor Lawrence, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Could you see them in a Super Bowl sometime in the next few years?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, don't you think even this last game, had it been for not one or two plays? I mean, I can't tell you how many times in my life one or two plays made a decision between winning and losing, either going to the playoffs or going home. And, the improvement is tremendous. I've got to be very careful because I am in football. I've got a lot of friends. Urban Meyer, I know Urban Meyer. He's a friend of mine, former coach at Ohio State. Do I think, they improved dramatically after the change? Absolutely. I mean, you can watch it on the sidelines. I'm a big sidelines guy. What happens on the field is important. But I like to look at the sidelines and see, is there communication going on? Is the coaches trying to help the players, get better, improve, get more enthusiastic? I'm a big fan of Tom Brady, even after he went to Michigan and I went to Ohio State. The bottom line is,
go Blue, baby.
Yes, I'll never forget that Super Bowl game where he came back. And the bottom line was, it wasn't so much even his play or the players around him. It was the job he did on the sideline, motivating and encouraging. And I watched some of these coaches, how many coaches do you see each week? This kind of crap. Hey, come on. You're whether you win or lose is not on this piece of paper. It's in your mouth right here. It's you being a leader. At halftime, it's motivating your troops. I hate these guys that get up here, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't mean anything. Even guys, I watch coaches that are down like 20-0. They're still, why would you read that sheet of paper? You're 20-0. You need to grab it like this and put it in a big ball and get rid of it.
Yep.
And you need to start becoming a coach.
Okay. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, Doug. Okay. I've had some crazy hot takes about who should be the next Denver Broncos head coach. I just want to get your opinion of my madness. Tim Tebow. next head coach of the Denver Broncos.
I think
Doug.
he's kind of busy with his foundation.
Doug, what do you think of that?
Well, I think Tim has leadership qualities. I mean, I'm not saying he would make a great coach. There's a difference between being a coach in high school or college or pros. The difference between college and pros is dramatic because when you're still in college, those kids will still listen to you. They'll still listen to what you have to say. When you get to the National Football League, it's not for long. That means it doesn't matter what you have, who you are, you better start understanding the level of communication that those players are on. You're not like I had a coach, Woody Hayes. He'd go around punching everybody. You know what? Ain't no more punching. I'll tell you right now, because all those players will head for the door. And you got to find out the personality of your team, and you have to be able to connect with those players, not just on the field. I mean, you have to just suck up to them, their personal feelings. Oh, that's okay. It'll get better. You got to be like daddy. To some degree. Kids want encouraged. They don't want somebody over top up yelling, screaming. Here's
the reason I say this, and I know people think I'm crazy, but if there is somebody out there that could possibly resurrect Russell Wilson's career, I could see it being a guy like Tim Tebow, and I'm serious about that.
Right.
I know you guys think I'm nuts, but Russell Wilson is a deeply religious, at least I know he used to be a deeply religious guy. So is Tim Tebow. I mean, this comes from me and Tony were lifelong Broncos fan. That season is the only time I ever felt like the second coming of John Elway. We were 2-5, and they replaced whoever it was with Tim Tebow. We were 2-5. We were in the suck for luck running, like tank the whole season so we could get Andrew Luck. I know Tony remembers what I'm talking about. They put this guy Tim Tebow in, who struggled to throw the forward pass, but the guy took us to the playoffs and won a playoff game.
Was that Pittsburgh? I'm not sure.
Yes, it was we beat the Steelers.
He threw an amazing pass over top of some guy's head in between a little basket and a little target. I'm going, this guy, he's got it. And the place went crazy.
Demaryius Thomas. We thought we were going to win the freaking Super Bowl that year.
I did.
Until we had to go to New England and play Tom Brady in New England.
Yeah, reality, man.
But also in that reality, he did play with a couple broken ribs.
Yeah, but
from the weekend before. But you know what? You're in the playoffs. You play with the broken hand. You play with the broken leg. For instance, look at yesterday. Patrick Mahomes played with a really bad sprain, and he was hopping. He was hopping along in Arrowhead. He was making things happen, man.
He hopped them right into the AFC Championship game. But okay, my Tim Tebow stuff is not realistic, but the man has a statue of him outside of Florida Gator Stadium. It is very rare that a human being gets a statue of them before they're dead.
Yeah. Guys, let me say one thing. That tent can cure everything. Every limp, bad feeling you have, you can go in the tent and you come out a happy person. Nothing hurts. I'm just telling you from first hand. They can fix everything. You have a nervous breakdown, come on in the tent. We're going to take care of it.
While you're sitting down, you're drinking a shot of Jack.
Well, maybe we need to have more tents. We need to have more tents for the world.
I agree, darling. I agree.
That's funny.
Well,
Megan.
All I have to say is that I think that any team that's in the playoffs, I commend and just appreciate how hard, because being such good friends with Doug, I know how hard these guys work and what they do to be in the NFL. And so anybody who gets to those playoffs, God bless them, and the best man shall win, or the best team shall win. But I'm just happy for them that they get to that point, because it's exciting. And it's like everybody should be excited for them when they're in the playoffs.
Okay, G Unit, tell us on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited you are about the Kansas City Chiefs.
Obviously,
you know, I'm gonna live.
I love
I'm gonna live vicariously through you because I'm a freaking Denver Broncos fan, and we haven't even sniffed the playoffs in like 6 years.
I know. We've been in the playoffs for the last 3 years. Number 1-5.
Oh God. Okay, guys. I'm gonna just take a quick break. I'm gonna do the run some sports and shopping stuff, and then we're gonna run our commercial. So we'll be back in like 2 minutes, and we could there's really much to dive into with that Eagles Giants game, but we'll get into today's games and just get everybody's predictions and their thoughts of today's games. So anyways, give me 1 second here.
Touchdown and tackle the sale. Sports and Shopping's podcast with Doug Blank, former NFL Chicago Bears and head coach Atlanta Falcons, and Megan, former Mrs. Texas, weekly podcast, Saturdays at 11 a.m. Pacific. Non-stop excitement and stories. Don't forget to find us at sportsandshopping.com.
La 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 la. All right, this is Sports and Tacos.
Touchdown and tackle the sale. Sports and Shopping's podcast with Doug Blank, former NFL Chicago Bears and head coach.
We got a guy that looks like he's supposed to be on Sports Center. And then you got me. It's all about the TMP, Sports and Tacos.
Perfect. Who are the guys at Sports and Tacos? We're a bunch of sports experts who work together in a huge sports bar forever, and we know more sports than anybody in this entire world because we put our money where our mouth is.
All about having some fun, a little bit of sports knowledge from 3, 4, 5, 6 different folks, depending on the night. Let you know about what happened that day in sports. We'll get to it. Check us out, Sports and Tacos at YouTube.
Perfect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen in TV land, YouTube, Sports and Tacos, Mondays, Thursdays, and Sunday Fun Day. Come join us, YouTube, Sports and Tacos.
All right, guys, we're going to give some shout outs. We're going to start off this morning, obviously, with Megan and Doug's Sports and Shopping, their podcast. It looks like it's Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on the West Coast. Super amazing. I can't thank you guys enough for coming on today. And I love having, just kind of, podcasting buddies, Sports and Tacos, Sports and Shopping. I could see that being a good cooperating team, nothing really better than sports and tacos. And I guess shopping if you're not me, because
number one, it's an honor to be here, and we appreciate you guys having us. Doug and I love doing our Sports and Shopping podcast. It's just a huge, amazing, wonderful thing, and we've been doing it now for almost 2 years, and people love it, and so it's good to it's all about helping each other get the word out there about each other's podcasts and what you guys are doing, because you guys have an amazing podcast also. And so, it's just about helping each other out. And it's, Doug's knowledge of football and NFL is, you couldn't get anybody better, quite frankly.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love
Doug,
it.
Thank you for being here with the guys, because
you know what? I've been really lucky. I've been lucky to coach at the Atlanta Falcons, Ohio State, New York Jets. I coached the Arena League. I started with Danny White. That was my first. I was actually a radio announcer, and their defensive coordinator quit. And on the way back from the hotel, Danny White, who was the head coach of this Arena football team in Arizona, goes, "Hey, Doug, you ever think about coaching?" I said, "No, not really." He goes, "Well, I want you to be the coach the rest of the year." And it worked out well. We went to the Arena Bowl with all this kind of stuff, but that's what got me into coaching, and I never looked back. 10 years later. 10 years goes by fast.
Yep. That's freaking
and
awesome.
you won awards, Doug, for number one coach
of the year, things like that.
Dude.
I mean, seriously.
You as a player, you learn what you didn't like. You didn't like getting slapped in the face. You didn't like getting kicked in the butt. So I didn't do that. I tried to create a little like reward system, just like a school teacher would do.
Right.
And I would give out awards every week that we won games, and it was a play of the game, the guy that hustled the most, that the underachiever. I mean, you name it. I had like 10 awards, and those guys felt great every weekend when they walked up in front of their teammates and got their award. The key was the Igloo cooler. Man, everybody wanted.
I was just going to say, you need to tell the cooler story. I was just going to say that.
The cooler was the hit of the game. Guys would. This is back when you were allowed to hit people. You could even hit them in the back, and it was still okay. You know, clap you on the back, give you a big hug when you came over. Now you get ejected from the game. The team gets penalized and fined. The owner's got to pay $1 million, whatever, to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I watch the games now and I go, oh my gosh, how this thing has changed. It was amazing. But
man, you played Doug.
Story. No, Doug, tell the cooler story. The cooler story is really cool. They'll love to hear it.
Oh, you know what? This is like behind the scenes. Everybody likes to get rewarded, and in our meetings, you know, there was one play in the game where it was whoever gave the most effort. It was the most. You could sacrifice yourself. In other words, taking out blockers or whatever, and still get this award. And it was so what? And it was a hustle. It was a hustle award, which meant the player gave 100%. From the beginning of the play right to the very end. As a coach, I like to circle at the end of the play, wherever the ball is at, receiver or running back, who is in a circle of about 10 feet of that receiver or that running back. That's when you know you got a guy that will never stop. He will keep going. It doesn't matter if the guy falls down. He runs across the field just to be in the area when the play is over. That kind of hustle determination. So anyway, there's a one play that we pick out the coaches. We call it the hustle award, whatever. But your award was the Igloo cooler, and it was like it was the hit of the game. So imagine people can call that bounties now. No, we called it an Igloo cooler. When you got the hit of the game, your name was announced, and you got up in front of the room, getting your Igloo cooler in front of all your teammates, offense, defense, and they were all clapping. Nothing was better. Nothing. $100,000. Forget it. I want the Igloo cooler. I want to be cheered in front of my teammates. That's the ultimate.
Doug, what was it like? Doug, was it like a lunchbox Igloo cooler or like a camping Igloo cooler?
Oh no, it was a big one. It was a big one. I remember I knocked Earl Campbell out of a couple games. That is not easy to do.
No, that's a big
for that. Because this guy had 32-inch thighs. Hey, listen, did not want to go near those because in the day of the old, when you grew up playing peewee football, I guess you could still say peewee. You know, they had foam rubber pads in their legs. Earl Campbell, metal thigh pads. When you hit him, it sounded like an aluminum bat hitting a baseball. Ding! And that was running. I got tinnitus in my life right now because of that. The ringing sound has never gone away. Earl Campbell, wow.
Earl Campbell was like Bo Jackson before Bo Jackson.
He was. He ran over people. I saw him run over tackles, linebackers. It didn't matter. That guy, he was a railroad train. He did not go left or right. He was on tracks.
Alex, just for like notes for like, you know, sports history knowledge. If you're ever bored, YouTube a guy named Earl Campbell.
Okay, I'm gonna write it down.
He was a beast of a
He would average running the ball 30 times a game. 30 times a game. No wonder now he's
how many times did he have his jersey at the end? It's always ripped.
Oh my God. I think he had like a tearaway jersey like he did in Oklahoma. You know, where you jersey, but was just pulled off the jersey. This dude was
just shoulder pads running.
Shoulder pads up here. Oh, almost like overcoming his helmet. I mean, he was a scary, scary individual. Because you know what? You knew in his mind he was not stopping. This was demolition derby, and you were the short man out.
Wow.
So how in the world did you take Earl Campbell out?
I hit him in an area that I don't want to talk about. But you can't.
Man down! Man down!
Yes. I don't think he had any more children the rest of his life.
It
worked.
You know,
it worked for a while. And I'll tell you what, this big old helmet in that little spot, wow, it did a lot of damage.
Well, I hope you won the Igloo cooler that day.
I think I did. I did win it that week.
Sometimes you do what you got to do to take down a guy like Earl Campbell.
Doug, real quick, in this igloo cooler, was there beer in there?
No, you know what's surprising? You know, that's back when the NFL they wanted to be very careful to not call this a bounty. You know, so they tried to keep the value way down, keep the value under like $20. That way, oh, you guys are giving $20 bounties? No, that's stupid to even say. It's like, and that's why I think they picked the bounty, because no one can accuse them of saying, oh, the Chicago Bears, they're putting bounties on players. No, we're putting igloo coolers on players. If you want to go hit Earl Campbell for an igloo cooler, then go ahead. You can hit him all you want.
That's freaking awesome. Well, cool, guys. Let's see. I just want to give two more quick little shouts out. Just a couple of our sponsors. Our good buddy Paul Pratt, who we'll have on here again soon. Ex-Detroit Lion, him and his Noah water. Super electrolyte injected, super hydrating Noah water. And then also our buddy Ray Panetto over at Pro Signatures Memorabilia. Ray has the coolest sports memorabilia, like pieces I've ever seen. So anyways, it is we were just talking, there's only 3 more Sundays of NFL football. You know, we got divisional this week, championships next week, and then the Super Bowl.
Hey, Shotgun, you forgot about the flag football in Vegas.
No, nobody cares.
Yes.
Nobody cares about
Hey guys, I want to tell you, for 5 years, I was a franchisee of Taco Cabana out of San Antonio, so I know all about tacos. Enchiladas, got it all. I've been there. I've eaten it. I've eaten my life's value, or my quantity for life. Tacos, burritos. That was me.
But just so you know, like I don't know if you remember, but Sports and Tacos was born in a sports bar. That's how me and Tony and Bam all know each other. We all worked at a big sports bar together in South Denver, called the Platte River Bar and Grill. And basically, you know, we were always talking about sports. Anyways, I think one night we were sitting around Tony's living room, and he has this like karaoke microphone. And we were watching a football game. I'm pretty sure Tony and Bama had a couple of beers, and they started,
They had a couple Tony Weisers.
Yeah, they started like essentially fake announcing the whatever game we were watching just for fun, you know, with this stupid karaoke microphone. And we got the idea. We're like, hey, let's start a podcast, you know, podcast. This is like 5 years ago. And anyways, we went to the general manager of our bar, and it's a huge bar, and they have live music all the time. And on Monday nights, what they used to do is they used to have band tryout night, which sometimes was good and sometimes was horrible because you didn't know what you were going to get because it was band tryout night. Wow. So they got rid of it. So nobody was using the band area on Monday nights. We went to the general manager, asked him if we could start doing a podcast out of the band area. And the rest is history.
That's awesome.
Just to give you a little backstory of how Sports and Tacos was born. So,
and we had tacos on the show back then.
Yeah, I was gonna say back then, Frankie D used to get us tacos during the show. So we'd be crunching tacos. Tony would usually try and eat a taco in one bite. It was like a little challenge that
I almost did it, guys.
He almost ate an entire taco in one bite.
2 bites.
It was pretty funny.
Well,
so anyways,
so the affiliation. So Doug had taco franchises, and when I was pregnant with my son, I lived on Taco Bell tacos. So much so when I would be driving home from work, I would always get 3 tacos from Taco Bell. And literally the guy said to me, he's like, you're 9 months pregnant. Your son is going to come out and say, Chiquita.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. Grande meals I've eaten.
And then they're running for the border.
So anyways.
To this day, my son loves Taco Bell. It's his favorite. I said it's because I like lived on it.
He's got to. He's born in it.
I don't know if we can like say anything because let's just say me and Tony and Bama have a mutual friends. Well, actually I shouldn't say anything, but there's going to be a Taco Bell story hopefully coming out soon about a mutual friend of ours pretty soon. That's
awesome.
very
They ran for the border.
Yes. So maybe next weekend we can update on some friends of ours. Anyways, there are two huge football games today. So we have, and it is Niners. Are the Niners at Dallas? Anybody know? I was looking at it.
Other way
around.
That's
So Dallas is at San Fran. So I want to start there. Okay, I was thinking about Brock Purdy, this third string, kind of out of nowhere, just wonder kid. All of a sudden, is Brock Purdy the next? I mean, he's doing everything he needs to do and then some. Because, it's not like you could really say Brock Purdy is managing these games. He's not Mac Jones in his way through these games. But I also am a Broncos fan, and I remember this guy named Trevor Siemian that came in and looked like a world beater for a little while, and then eventually reality hit him like a brick wall. So who's buying? Basically, we're going to say buy or sell Brock Purdy. Bama, you buying or selling Brock Purdy?
Today for sure, I'm selling Brock Purdy. I think Dan Quinn's going to get that defense fired up on him today, and I'm selling. I'm buying what he's done for the last few weeks. How can you not? Honestly, I mean, hell, the dude's 2 touchdowns a game plus, 250, 300 yards it seems, but not buying him today. No.
You think Micah Parsons is going to be all over?
Yeah, Dan Quinn's going to dial up some stuff for him. Micah Parsons, Van Der Esch, Trayvon. They're going to try to contain McCaffrey as much as possible, but I do see like they're going to get a little bit too Purdy today.
Tony, buy or sell Brock Purdy?
Man. Last week they were saying he had a bad week, even though he threw for 300 yards plus, and he did miss a couple balls out there. But you know what? He has a core around him that, man, it's tough. You got Kittle. You got this kid that came from Colorado, McCaffrey.
Yeah, buddy.
But then at the same time, you got Urchek. You even got DJ. You got Debo back, and then you can't forget about their number 3 defense in the whole league. That they're good, man. But this time around, just like 1992, how about them Cowboys? I think something's going to happen. Okay. I think Prescott, he looked great last week. I think he's going to commit and do it again. And, everybody just got to play well. And, that defense, God,
So you selling Purdy?
I'm selling Purdy. Dang it.
Yeah.
And I've been on him I've been on his ship for a while now.
Yeah. Doug, what do you think? What are your thoughts of Brock Purdy?
Let me just say this. I vote and I support my friends, not my teams that I played on or I know somebody. I know John Lynch very well, and him being a former safety with the Tampa Bay Bucks back when they were awesome.
Yes, they were.
I've seen San Francisco these last 2 weeks too against Arizona, which that I can't say anything there. That game was over before it started. And then they played Washington the week before, the Commanders. And I think this is going to be this is going to be a game between Dan Quinn and Kyle Shanahan. I think that's really where this game is going down. Who's going to strategize the best at the line of scrimmage and get pressure on each other? I saw Kyle Shanahan's – there's been some games I've seen where he's failed miserably, called some bad plays. But for the most part, on average, he does a great job calling plays, seeing weaknesses in defense. On the other hand, I say Dan Quinn, not so much as a head coach, but as a defense coordinator, really just be an excellent coach and motivator. He's one of those guys. It's not about X's and O's. It's about his conversation with those players in the locker room. And he gets those guys ready to play. But I guess, with the feelings, either I know more guys on San Francisco. I live out here closer to the West Coast. So, whether it's right or not wrong, I'm going with the 49ers.
I think, it's toughy because for me, Dallas looked really good last week, but did they look really good against what actually was a not good Tampa Bay team that really shouldn't have been there. The only thing, the reason I was high on Tampa Bay is because they had, they have TB12, the football equivalent of a football man god who could take, anything to the playoffs and possibly take them to the Super Bowl and possibly win the Super Bowl, and they, it did not look like that last week. They looked like a team that should not have been in the playoffs last week.
Here's the other thing too. I don't know if you guys are from San Francisco area. San Francisco, yeah, they yell and scream, but it's not like the fanatical, like the Eagles fans. Those guys are going to die at the stadium. They're going to jump off the stadium, the balcony onto the field. That's not going to happen in 49. San Francisco, they're sophisticated, smart, intelligent fans.
Yes, there's not.
They support their team. They wear the colors. They come out, yell and scream, but they're not going to, do crazy stuff.
They're not going to. They're not going to jail for the 49ers.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, well said. Well said.
I've heard they actually have a jail at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia for a holding cell. And basically, usually, hopefully it's not major infractions, but it's just like when you are drunk and disorderly at the Eagles game, they take you to Eagles jail until somebody comes to get you.
Well, they have metal detectors. Before you get in the stadium, you have to go through a metal detector. So that tells you something right there.
The last time I picked up Doug when he was announcing here in LA, I felt like I needed a security team around me grabbing him because the fans were so crazy, and I was so protective of Doug. And I felt like
you better not even say a bad word to that fan, like you guys are bad or something. No. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting your team.
So here's where I'm here's where I'm at with the Niners. I think that the Buccaneers were not that good. I think that Brock Purdy has not shown me anything to believe that he cannot take, because this team without Brock Purdy, is an amazing football team. When you look at the offense and the defense of the Niners, they have so many weapons on offense, and they're number 3 defense in the NFL. And literally, you could be out there just with a Tim Tebow, I think, or a Mac Jones, a game manager, and make it to the Super Bowl. But Brock Purdy has not shown me any reason to doubt him right now. So I think that people might overvalue that win against Tampa Bay last week, and I think I got to go with the Niners. And I just sit here and I'm sitting here thinking about how the Eagles destroyed the Giants yesterday. Who did and the Giants destroyed the Vikings. So it's kind of like so does that mean the Vikings were really that bad?
They were on a downfall. Look what happened with them when you only win by 3 points and under 7.
Right.
Somehow, sometime when they actually match up a team, which they did was with the Giants, they finally got what they got. They're not playing the Indianapolis Colts. They're not playing the LA Rams. They're not playing those teams. They're actually playing a playoff team where the playoff team prevailed, and they showed them their true colors.
Yeah.
Well said.
So
well said.
it just, so, the Vikings look like world beaters. They got beat by the Giants. The Giants come out and get lambasted. Or I'm sorry, the Giants come out and get lambasted by the Eagles. So how much value do I put on that Tampa Bay Buccaneer win for Dallas? Yes, for Dallas, that might have bought Mike McCarthy another season as head coach.
Another game.
Another with the Cowboys, Oh my God, we finally won a playoff game. But the Niners are for real. I think the Niners actually. This is my prediction.
Hey, shotgun, before you go any further, I know what you're talking about, but you got to understand this, little brother. You got to understand this. They do have now 3 quarterbacks. 3 quarterbacks. They have Lance. They have Garoppolo. Now they got this Purdy kid. Boy, man, they got some nice trade bait going on right now. But you know what? The offensive line, that whole team, Purdy's Purdy's looking pretty because of the fact that their team is stepping up at the right time and now.
Okay, so this is my prediction. The 49ers are going to beat the Cowboys today. Then you're going to have the Niners versus the Eagles. Dude, I'm taking the Niners in that game. I think the Niners defense will stop Jalen Hurts.
They're not going to stop Dak Prescott today.
Yeah, they're going to stop Dak.
And you got to remember, they got Zeke and they also got Pollard in that backfield.
I'm just hitting fast forward. I think the 49ers are going to be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. That's my bold prediction. And Brock Purdy is going to be, he's just this whatever. I don't know if he's actually that good or just on a really, really good team. This is just Spencer's crazy hot take prediction. But I think they upset the Cowboys today. I think Brock Purdy has a good enough game. Real quick, let's just, because what's your predicted score? Anybody? Alex, are you watching games today, Alex?
Oh yeah, I'm watching the games. I actually agree with you, Spencer. I think that that 49ers are going to win. They beat the Cowboys for sure. It's going to be 27-20, just like that game yesterday.
Nice. Bama, what's your predicted score?
I kind of like what she's going up, but it's Cowboys 27-24 on a Brett Maher field goal. Redemption.
Got it. Big Daddy Pantoja.
28-14 Cowboys. The Cowboys tight end Schultz catches 2 more touchdowns where he's been on fire.
You're out of your mind.
Hey, by the way, Shotgun, did you take off your Tom Brady posters off your wall yet?
Maybe not till football season ends and I have to start rooting for basketball.
And then right behind it is Tim Tebow.
The thing is, my entire life I have hated Tom Brady, but it just at some point you just have to be in awe of the man.
Hey Doug, this is for you, buddy. He did go to a great school. It is kind of cold out here right now. It feels good, buddy. Feels good.
It's funny. It wasn't.
Ask them how they did in the playoffs this year for college football.
Hey, just not talk about the playoffs.
Yeah. TCU. Tell us about TCU.
Jeez. Next season, baby. Next season.
At least as Ohio State played a game against Georgia.
That's funny.
All I gotta say this year, it hurts. It really hurts.
Nah, it wasn't. If anybody's ever bored, just sitting around with a little time, there's a YouTube special about Tom Brady when he was at Michigan. And when I watched that special about how Tom Brady, because I'd always wondered, how did Tom Brady end up in the 6th round? How did nobody know this guy was going to become what he did? And I went and watched the story, and it's pretty unbelievable. And it made me a fan of Tom Brady, like a true, inspiration. It's a crazy inspirational story to life in general. So, but anyways, Doug, what
happens in stories like that with Tom Brady? I'll say this: was he a great player at Michigan? No, but he never stopped improving. He never stopped dieting. He was a leader. People don't know this. I played 5 games in 3 years at Ohio State only because somebody else got hurt. You know what? I didn't let it affect me. My best game was against Northwestern in Chicago, and 2 Chicago Bear Scouts came to the game, and that is why I got drafted in the 12th round, 291st pick. You know what? I got to Chicago, and I tore everybody up. I wasn't going to believe I was a 12th rounder. No, I was a 1st rounder, and I ran over everybody. I never practiced. I played in everything. Everything was live to me. Because my first day at Ohio State, we were doing through a walkthrough drill, and a guy tackled me, totally unexpected, and I had a surgery, and I never, ever was able to get up to starting status. My point is, like with Tom Brady, I give him credit because, he did a tremendous job, training, conditioning himself, I think. But you know what? It's not about where how you start. It's how you finish.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You look at the guys that can do that. They are unbelievable players and people, and they have control over their thoughts and mind. And they study and they practice, and they know the game plan. They know the opponent. it isn't always about vertical jump, how good you are. I know a lot of guys that can jump 48 inches, 30 inches. It doesn't matter. Are they a good player? No, because, you can't count on them. They make too many mental mistakes. And mental mistakes,
I think
you only need one or two mental mistakes in any of these games today to make it swing it to the other side.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady runs like a 8.6 40 or something.
He does. I agree.
Hey, man, he runs like Peyton Manning.
And yet the guy has what, 7 or 8 Super Bowl trophies sitting in his closet. Like, it's
And then he ran one of them for a touchdown.
it's just nuts. But anyways, I suggest if anybody's bored, go watch that little Michigan special, because it's like I said, I just had no idea how a guy like that could end up in the 6th round. And dude, it's amazing. But all right, what's your predicted score of today's Cowboys-Niners game, Doug?
I like that in the 20s. I really, that resonates really well, because I think both defenses are really good. I think both defenses are going to get to the other quarterback. They both have great pass rushers. I think San Francisco is a little bit more, better in terms of the pass rush. Maybe the overall defense. I know Dan Quinn. I think he's a really, really good coach. Like I said, he's a great motivator, a great communicator with his players. His players like him. I mean, you sounds crazy, but that is a big part of this. Do you like your coach? You know what? I had so many coaches sometimes tell me to do things that I knew I couldn't do. And I would ask them, I said, well, dear coach, let me ask you a question. When's the last time you went down there and blew up the wedge and made a tackle on a ball carrier after you blew up 300-pound guys? And he goes, don't be a, whatever. And he goes, I was always penalized for it. But you know what? You got to call people out. They start telling you that you're going to do things or they're going to do it. Hey, when's the last time you ever did it? And it didn't get me anywhere.
Okay,
at least we're afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do another.
I agree with
go
Doug.
ahead,
I'm just gonna say I agree with Doug. Whatever Doug says when it comes to sports, I'm 100%. If I was on an island and they said, "Are you gonna pick Doug's answer?" I would always say yes. So I agree with Doug.
Megan, you're taking the 49ers. That's what you're saying.
Yes, home field advantage.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna run a few more promos and then we'll wrap it up with the Bengals and the Bills. Which I think is going to be the game of the day. So give me 1 second here. We'll go ahead and run for everybody out in the World Wide Web.
Atlanta Falcons and Megan, former Mrs. Texas weekly podcast, Saturdays at 11 a.m. Pacific. Non-stop excitement and stories. Don't forget to find us at sportsandshopping.com.
Awesome. Sportsandshopping.com, 11 a.m. on Saturdays Pacific time. And we'll go ahead
I just want to give a quick shout out for Doug, because Doug is an amazing individual inside and out, and he does a lot of cameo appearances. So I just want to give him a shout out for all of your fans, that if you guys ever want a cameo appearance with Doug, he's really great at them, and he does birthdays, anniversaries.
Hey, Doug, you're in Arizona, right, Doug?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we'll definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, because it's just really fun, and I just got some promotions from Cameo this week, and Doug doesn't even know this, but I was like, oh my gosh, Doug is so good at this stuff, because he's so sincere and he's so kind. But if you go to Cameo, and you can find lots of people there. I don't know. Someday we will all be on Cameo, but right now Doug is the only one.
maybe who knows? Maybe do a live sports and tacos and shopping Super Bowl special or something.
Yes, I love
That'd
it.
be cool.
From the beach somewhere.
That's even better.
And let's do it.
Okay, I'm gonna run a couple more promos real quick, and then we'll get into the Bills Bengals.
Why sports and tacos? Because we're number one. We try to do things a little different from everybody else, and that's who we are, because we party like the big dogs.
Okay, sweet. That's the best commercial. Sports talk shows where the hosts may be famous, when they get paid, no matter whether they're right or wrong, kind of like the weatherman, on Sports and Tacos, we only get paid to be right. So on Sports and Tacos, we put our money where our mouth is.
Because we get paid to put our money where our mouth is. We tell you how it is for real, not what they want you to say. Listen to us. Sports and Tacos.
Cool. Perfect. All right. So we'll show the little banner here real quick.
Thank you so much.
Boom. Sports and Shopping, 11 a.m. on Saturdays, everybody. Check it out. Sports and Shopping, Megan Johnson, Doug Plank. And cool. All right, guys, let's wrap this up with what I think is going to be the game of the day, which is the Bills and the Bengals. So, this game is being played. Oh, okay. I mean, God, we only got 5 minutes left. But does anybody know this game is being played in Buffalo?
Yes.
That game that got canceled. Would it have, because the Bengals were cruising in that game. If they win that game,
it was 7-3. It was 7-3. They weren't cruising.
They were cruising.
It was 7-3.
The Bengals would have easily won that football game. Would that have changed where this game is being played? Anybody know?
Well, it's a domino effect on that.
So that's a yes. That's a yes. Yes, it would. Right? If the Bengals,
well, maybe not. If Cincinnati would have beat Buffalo, then Baltimore would have probably tried to play a little bit harder. Maybe in their game, or vice versa. Buffalo, yeah.
Lots of ifs and buts, but this game should be being played in Cincinnati, but it's not. No. It's being played in Buffalo.
Spencer, you're such a Bengals fan.
So
now you're gonna have Joe on your wall.
Yeah.
Yes. I tore Tom Brady off my wall. Now Joe Burrow's up now.
Oh, shotgun. Just keep on putting up John Elway, man.
Oh, I love John Elway so much. Anyways, I'm taking obviously the Bengals to win this game outright. Like I said, I mean, they were cruising in that first game. Right now the Bills are favored by like 6 points. I'm Bengals. I don't know, man. Joe Burrow. Okay, it's like this. The cream always rises to the top. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. Josh Allen is a stud. I just think Joe Burrow is I've said this on the show. He's like a mix between, to me, Joe Montana and freaking Tom Brady of some kind. He took them. I know they didn't win the Super Bowl last year, but they really shouldn't have been there. All I'm saying is this, and like I've been saying for months, anybody who can beat Patrick Mahomes, G Unit, on a regular basis is my guy. So I'm taking the Bengals to upset the Bills today because winners win and the cream rises to the top. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Wrong. You got to stop going to Starbucks, brother.
It's going to be hard for Burrow to throw the ball when he's on his back all day. He's got 3 linemen out today. I mean, Baltimore gave him crap last week with the lineman trouble. So if you don't think that Buffalo's not going to give him more trouble today, with a better quarterback than Josh Allen on the other end right there, no, Cincinnati's, it's going to be close. I don't know if Buffalo covered the spread, but Buffalo's winning the game.
Baltimore, you guys had 9 sacks last week, right?
Something close to that, yeah.
Yeah, and did you win?
I don't know if it was that much. It was close. We had a lot of those right there. That's what I'm saying. And Buffalo, I feel like it's going to have just as good a pass rush on him this week. And 3 guys out on the offensive line, 3 guys on the offensive line for Cincinnati. That's going to be hard. Chase is going to get his, but I mean, Baltimore showed you can shut down Joe Burrow. They did it 3 times this year actually. All 3 times he had like one of his worst quarterback ratings during the whole thing. So you give me a defense like Baltimore with a Josh Allen as quarterback, and I just don't see Cincinnati coming through today.
This is my other reasoning: is Josh Allen to me is regressing lately.
He has regressed. He has in a sense, but it's still been good enough to win the games.
Right. G Unit. This game's going to affect.
Yep.
Your Kansas City Chiefs. Who you think is going to win? Okay, let me ask you this as a Chiefs fan. Would you rather play the Bills or the Bengals?
I'd rather play the Bills.
Yes, you would. Why would you rather play the Bills?
Joe Burrow.
Of course you do.
They beat us last year. That was a sad game that we lost last year to the Bengals. So I'm hoping that the Bills win. I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm hoping that the Bills win. That way we play the Bills.
You think the Bills are going to win?
Yes.
You think or you hope?
It's going to be a good game. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Help me out. I don't know.
Okay,
Probably
so
Go with your gut. Go with your gut.
The Bills got this. The Bills.
All right, there you go.
All right,
See, I
Bama.
knew I liked her.
Okay, Bama. I think so. You're taking the Bills, Bama.
Oh yes, Bills all day. Yeah.
TMP.
I'm taking the Bills, but the catch is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills has to learn his times, learn his timeouts, where last week cost him, where they went for it on fourth down. Guess what? He calls a timeout. They throw a bomb. Guess what? Boom. And another one. He has to control his time. I think it's the head coach on this one.
He's not Nathaniel Hackett, tell me. Come on.
Oh, geez. Look what happened to Hackett. He got hacked. Nobody wants to know.
Oh God. Don't remind me. We're not talking about.
But
the
I take
Broncos
the
right
Bills.
now. We're talking.
And
about
I say they
football
win
teams
by 3 points.
3. Okay, Doug, what's your thoughts on this game?
Remember, I get back to the family and friends aspect of this. So I played with Leslie Frazier, the defensive coordinator, Buffalo Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Same locker room right next to Leslie. Good friends with him. And I think their defense is going to play well. I don't know how the Buffalo Bills offense today. Josh Allen has been scaring me the last couple of weeks. I think the last few weeks he's been leading the National Football League in turnovers, forced fumbles, interceptions. And but I've seen him take over games, take off with the ball, run away from secondaries. Safeties and corners can't even catch him down the sideline. This guy can do amazing things. And I think we're really in store for a great game here. I think it's going to be something settled in the last few minutes of the game, much like we saw a game here last weekend or yesterday, settled with a turnover. And I think a turnover is going to determine this game, and I think the score is going to be somewhere in the 20s.
Yeah, you're thinking low scoring. I was thinking, I don't know what the weather is in Buffalo, but I was actually thinking more of a shootout, just because these are two high-powered offenses. But I might be wrong. Another thing I was just thinking about. Obviously, I'm talking myself into the Bengals, but the Bengals, if pass protection is an issue, one of the best things you can do is run the football. If the Bengals can run the football today, they're going to win this game. And they have good running backs. They have a running game. So actually, you might be right. I think if the Bengals can run the football, the Bengals can win this game. Yeah. And if one of these two quarterbacks is going to throw an interception in crunch time, I think it's going to be Josh Allen, not Josh Allen.
I agree. Last time I played in Buffalo was a high score of 7-6. I mean, there was 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter. It was cold. It was hot. The wind was blowing. Then the blue skies came out. I'm going, what in the hell is happening here today? We're playing under different conditions from the first quarter to the fourth quarter.
I didn't know you played baseball, Doug. 7-6.
Wow.
I mean, I think this is going to be an entertaining game because I love the personalities in this game. Personalities on both sides that are going to show it during the game. But like I said, weather up in Buffalo, I don't know. I've gone up there sometimes where it snowed and they said it was going to be sunny. So I don't believe the weatherman up there.
One thing I do like about the Bengals, I don't see the weather affecting the Bengals because the weather sucks in Cincinnati just as bad as it does, almost as bad as Buffalo. So that is one thing that I do like. But I think high scoring. I guess real quick, Tony, Bama, what are you guys' predicted scores ish of the game?
I'll say 31-30 Buffalo.
Yes, I was thinking in the 30s, a shootout. What do you think, Tom? I think, and who has the ball last probably is
Yes.
win or lose this game.
Yeah.
That's a great call. That's a great call.
I see the AFC Championship played in Atlanta.
What?
I see the AFC Championship playing in Atlanta in the Mercedes Dome. I see the score being 28-26, Buffalo.
Wow.
Got it. And then so then the Chiefs would have to play the Bills in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Boy, how the Chiefs
And tickets are already going on sale. How funny is that?
and the Chiefs. So the Chiefs. That's boy. If I was a Chiefs fan, I don't know that whole thing like that. If I was a Chiefs fan, I'd be pissed.
I'm going for the
Well,
Bills.
maybe they can refund their money so they can use it for Atlanta.
Well, I mean, and I get it. I get all the things, but if you're a Chiefs fan, you've had this amazing season, and now
I
you got to
know.
play the AFC Championship game in freaking Atlanta.
Yeah.
Pick one, Spencer. You were just mad about Cincinnati not being able to have
I
the.
know.
Come on.
Man, you're going to have so many posters on your wall. I can't
All right.
believe it, brother.
Think about this though. So let's say it somehow is the Bills and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game in Atlanta, and the Chiefs lose that game. The Chiefs literally had nothing to do with why they had to play in Atlanta.
I know.
Nothing.
You play the game where the game's played, and that's what you got to do. Yeah.
Neutral site, man. They do it in the bowl games all the time.
You play to win the game in the playoffs. All right, guys. Cool, guys. Well, everybody, we're going to wrap it up. Everyone have a super amazing football Sunday. And Doug, thank you for coming on. Megan,
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you,
Nice to
Doug.
meet you guys.
This was a great time. Thanks so much.
Hey, Doug. Go blue.
Yeah, you know what? I'm from Pennsylvania, so it doesn't mean anything to me. I'm an outsider. I don't care.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. All right,
Thank
guys.
you
Yeah,
so
let's,
much. Thank you so much for having us. It was really wonderful. You
Nice
guys
to
are
meet you
awesome.
guys.
Everybody should watch Sports and Tacos. Everybody, please subscribe. Watch Sports and Tacos.
Everybody
It's
watch
really
sports and
important.
shopping. Definitely.
Yes. Everybody
Yeah,
watch
this
sports and
is-
shopping.
if this is a good like melting of the podcast, what is it, multiverse? This was good. Let's
Was
do
it
it
So
again.
you know, I was cheering for Michigan.
Yeah, baby. See, I knew I liked you, Dougie boy. I knew I liked you.
Big Ten, man. Big Ten. I'm all for it.
Yeah,
So-
baby.
Go CU, go Deion Sanders. We're coming back from the dead, baby.
Whatever. You still ain't catching Alabama. Wrong side.
That's a
All right, so
topic.
let's just say we wish the best to all teams today, and the best
Yes.
man shall win.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
Yes.
good. Better games than yesterday. Yes.
Yes, hopefully. Bye,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Everybody
Thank
have a
you.
good day. Let's
Bye,
do this again
guys.
soon.
Thank you.
Do it again soon.
Yep. Happy Sunday.